Hi everyone, I'm Raksha. I share content on bullet journaling for mindfulness and productivity. If that's something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. You may have already seen my own 2021 bullet journal setup, which was a simple and minimal theme with my own creative touches. In this video, I'll be setting up a truly minimal bullet journal for my husband, and I thought it'd be helpful to take you along with me. I'm using a beautiful notebook from Baron Fig in the colour Fig Wine. It has a really minimal look and feel, so it's perfect for this type of setup. And it was my husband's favourite notebook out of the ones that I talked about in my notebook review video a few weeks ago. It's small enough to take everywhere with you, but big enough to bullet journal in. The pages are 90 GSM, which is perfect for people who like thinner paper, and there are 192 pages, which should last him the whole year. If you're interested in buying one, please use my affiliate link in the description box, which has the added benefit of helping to keep my channel alive. If you prefer thicker paper, Archer and Olive are a great choice, and you can use my discount code Raksha10 to get 10% off. And they still have plenty of choice in stock, which is always difficult to find at this time of year. There are 4 core collections described in the official bullet journal method book by Ryder Carroll. If you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend it. The first of the 4 collections is the index. An index often seems like an effort to keep up to date, but I'm usually grateful to have it when I'm looking for things in previous journals, so I'm saving a page for it here. The second of the 4 collections is the future log. I decided to draw a line across the pages, 3 spaces down from the top. This is where the header can go. The header is indented to the right, which is a really easy way to make a page look aesthetically pleasing without too much effort. This is a really simple way to set up spreads quickly and easily, so I thought it would be perfect for my husband to do whenever he needs to, so he can easily keep the spreads consistent throughout and spend more time using them instead of designing them. Separating the header from the body of the spread also makes the page feel more structured when you look at it, so you can easily see the information that you put in later. I divided the page into 3 sections, one for each month of the year. The future log is an important part of the bullet journal method because it's where you can put in any future dates, events or tasks, which you would refer to every month to migrate over to your monthly logs. The monthly log is the third of the 4 core collections, and daily logs are the 4th. I won't be setting those up because those are done when the actual month arrives, but the idea is that you migrate tasks from your future log to your monthly log, and from your monthly log to your daily logs when you're ready to assign tasks to a particular day. Now for the fun part, custom collections. My favourite part of bullet journaling is designing custom collections, or what we usually call spreads, to suit my needs. The first collection for my husband will be for his goals, because these goals are going to feed into the trackers that I'll be setting up next. I talked through his goals with him and identified that most of his goals are pull goals rather than push goals. A push goal is a specific goal that you push yourself to achieve. A pull goal is one that you feel a pull towards because you enjoy it. It's goals that you're naturally drawn towards that are fed by passion rather than pressure. They're less outcome focused than the goals that we might be used to setting at work, where you're usually encouraged to set SMART goals. For example, instead of setting a goal to write a book by the end of this year, your pull goal would be to write for 15 minutes every day because you love writing. After a period of time, you might feel inclined to start up a blog, or you might end up with an idea for a novel to write. The pull is towards writing, and by setting a goal to commit some time to it, you can then make an informed decision about what you want the outcome to be. This completely depends on what kind of situation you're in, and you might have very specific outcome-based goals that work better as a push goal. I've shared more detail on this type of goal setting over on my blog. Anyway, I could go on about things like this forever. I share more insights like this in my weekly newsletter, so feel free to sign up to that over on my website. Next to goals, I've set up a page for him to write up his ideal daily habits. Things like stretching, working on geeky technology projects, being present with the kids, eating healthier snacks, tidying his desk or putting his dishes in the dishwasher. Maybe I should sneak some more of those onto his list. These are ideal habits. They won't be vigorously tracked like some of the goals will, but instead will serve as reminders throughout the year, because you can't track everything and you need some freedom and flexibility in your life. Now I'm setting up some trackers. The first is to run a mile a day. I'm setting up a tracker for the year with months on the y-axis and days on the x-axis. Every time he runs a mile in the day, he'll colour a box in. It's useful having an annual tracker because you can have an overview of the entire year and easily spot patterns and trends. Also, you have the added benefit of only needing to set it up once. I've done the same on the right-hand page, and this one he'll complete every time he does something in the gym. This is a really simple and easy way to set up an annual tracker. The next tracker that I'll set up will be a different style to this one, because I think it will be useful for him to try a couple of different methods to figure out which one he likes better. The next tracker is for him to track whether he's done any work on his personal technology projects. This time I'm using the 2021 calendar stencil that I used in my own bullet journal setup. And good news, if you wanted one of these, they're now back in stock on my Etsy shop. This method of setting up a tracker allows you to see each month individually. It takes a bit longer than the previous method because you have to write up the dates for every month. But the stencil really helps because it outlines the days of each month perfectly, so you don't have to look up when the first or the last day of each month will be. In my own setup, I drew the boxes with a black fine liner, but because my husband wanted more of a minimal look, I've drawn the outlines in pencil to rub out after I've put the dates in. Repetitive tasks like writing out the dates can be quite relaxing, and you have to force yourself to stay present in the moment to pay attention to the numbers that you're writing in. I definitely think he'll prefer these trackers over the previous ones, but it's worth experimenting when you're new to bullet journaling to make an informed decision. I grabbed my thin nib fine liner, a 01 Sakura micron, to write in the numbers because it makes it easier to write smaller numbers and looks a bit cleaner. It also helps the days of the week stand out a bit more, which were done with the 05 Sakura micron. All supplies are linked in the description box below. I did the same layout on the next page, and this will be to track mood. His hypothesis is that he's usually in a worse mood when he doesn't exercise, so now we'll be able to find out with the data from these trackers. I ended up getting distracted by my kids and messed up the month of May. I seem to have put the 8th in twice, so it threw off all the numbers. But luckily, in the Baron Fig notebook, you get some pages at the back that are perforated for ripping out, so I can rip one out, draw the May calendar on there and stick it on top. I'll just see if he wants me to do that or if he wants to just leave it as it is. I'm not usually that bothered about mistakes in my own bullet journal, but I'll let him have the choice since it's his. Next, he wanted to be able to plot points on a graph every month to track body weight and net assets. So I've set up a couple of pages here for him to add these graphs to fill out every month. He seems to be much more into tracking than I am. The next spread is dedicated to the books read this year. This is nice and easy to set up. I remember in my first bullet journal, I got tempted to draw bookshelves and books and write in the names of the books that I read into the books that I'd drawn. I didn't really enjoy doing things like that because sometimes I couldn't even fit the names of the books into the books that I had drawn. So I definitely think having a blank page for spreads like this is the better option. We have another blank page to fill out the books that he wants to read for the year as well. This spread is for him to write down the things he wants to do with the kids this year. For example, he always talks about wanting to teach our son to code, so things like that can go on there, or to take our daughter out on her balance bike. It's handy to think of these things and jot them down so when you're wondering what to do, you can just do something from the list. It also reinforces those things in your mind so you're more likely to do them. Now we have the last couple of spreads. This is for tracking projects. He's an ideas man and thinks of more ideas than he can physically work on. Instead of those ideas getting lost, this is a place to jot them down. There's a column for what the project is, and alongside this he can tick off whether it's not started, in progress, or complete. This will be useful to refer to throughout the year, and ideas can also be carried over to the following year if they're not complete, rather than getting lost and forgotten. If they're no longer relevant, they can simply be crossed out. To finish off, we have a quote to kick off the year with a good mindset. Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't. A great quote, and I think bullet journaling will help him achieve exactly that. I hope you feel inspired to set up your own journal and that you feel encouraged to embrace simplicity and minimalism too. I've linked a playlist with a selection of my videos that are useful for bullet journaling, mindfulness and productivity, so check those out if you're interested. Thanks for watching and see you soon.